Okay, so here's the deal. A few years ago, your girl Iggy Azalea used to say some really crazy shit online, man. She told some jokes that could be considered to be racist and homophobic. She offended a lot of people. And then, when she's rapping, she raps in that slave accent and whatnot. It's not like her Australian accent that she speaks in. And then in one of her songs, she says something about being a slave master or something. I forget exactly what she said verbatim. There's a lot of different things that she did that offended different people, gay people, black people. I think she said something about Mexicans at one point. Yeah, something about Mexican women's bodies being shaped like boxes, or I don't know exactly how she worded it, but she offended a lot of people, man. She was having fun on Twitter and whatnot, and people basically got their panties in a bunch about it. So in 2015, she was having some suicidal thoughts because she was facing backlash for the stuff that she said years ago on Twitter that people, had just discovered, basically. And not just that, but like people going at her in general. She had been in a lot of beef. Azealia Banks was on her case, among others. So she even thought about just saying, you know what? Maybe she should end her life to escape what was going on. But thankfully, she's still here. Anyways, the Shade Room posted about it, and Azealia Banks, her rival, popped up and said, "Yeah, slave master, drive that slave truck right off the canyon." To which Cyn Santana from Love and Hip Hop New York Season 5 chimed in and said, "Hey, not funny. Actually, disgusting. Encouraging someone to commit suicide? You're sick, at Azealia Banks. I just said a prayer for you. You need all the prayers." End quote. Shout out to Cyn Santana. Normally I would say we have to be careful about reprimanding each other, because sometimes when one celebrity says something to another, it could cause, something bigger. But, Cyn was right. I mean, we're talking about freaking suicide here. Iggy Azalea was goofing off on the internet. She's an entertainer. She's not, some politician or something like that. She's not making or enforcing laws, or she doesn't decide whether or not people can get loans that could affect their lives and whatnot. She's a musician. And I'm not trying to, make an excuse for her words. I'm just saying that, the backlash that she received is the backlash that we should be giving people who are mayors who do the wrong thing. Like the people who run stuff over there in Flint, Michigan, that ignored the water crisis and let those people get poisoned. Yeah, we should be going at them like that, as opposed to Iggy Azalea. That's what America should have come behind. Because if we're going to antagonize anybody and anger them and make them feel just like absolutely nothing, and make them feel like that suicide is the only option or an option at all, it needs to be people who are doing stuff that is, I don't know if I should say equivalent, but basically things that could warrant that type of backlash, because we're talking about a water supply, for people who are getting sick and whatnot. Now, I can understand people saying something like that to the people who run things over there in Flint, Michigan. But Iggy Azalea just made some stupid comments, on Twitter, and said a couple things in some rap songs. She didn't wish death on people, She didn't go really, really far and deep into it by saying stuff like F those N-words or anything stupid like that. You know what I mean? She just was being silly on the internet. She was saying silly things. And I'm not making an excuse for what she said either, because a lot of stuff that she said I don't agree with. But, I mean, the backlash that she received was just, in my opinion, not cool. It was overboard. And not just because there's more important things to talk about. I just don't personally perceive Iggy Azalea as being that bad of a person that she needs, for people to come at her like that. Now, I'm not saying she's this great person. I don't really know her. But I'm just glad my girl Cynthia came to her defense, because Azealia Banks was acting like an idiot once again. She deleted her Twitter. Probably the real reason why Azealia Banks deleted her Twitter was because she was receiving backlash for the stupid things that she says. You see, Azealia Banks and Iggy Azalea share more similarities than just being female rappers who have the same name. Well, it's not spelled the same, but it's pronounced the same, Azalea. Because, I mean, neither one of them can really control themselves on social media sometime. And they can just go too far, of course. Iggy Azalea is like a small handful. And then Azealia Banks is like a handful that's like spilling over onto the floor. And you like put a bucket underneath your hands. And then the bucket is pouring over. And it's like, oh my God, this is overwhelming type of mess. Where Iggy Azalea is really small potatoes compared to Azealia Banks. Azealia Banks is just a whole nother level of ridiculous. You know, Iggy Azalea accidentally offends people. Azealia Banks offends people on purpose. Consistently. She seemed to calm down a lot since she's been on Instagram. But, she has to either be writing a book or just writing comments down for her big comeback on Twitter. There's no way that somebody who's as much of a troll as Azealia Banks is, that's just going to sit there and just decide one day, you know what, I'm going to delete my damn Twitter. The way that she loves the negative attention, there's no way that she's not going to come back. Unless they come out with a new social media platform and she takes her ridiculous act there. But anyway, shout out to the beautiful Cyn Santana for saying something to this bully. Because what if Iggy Azalea actually did hurt herself? What if Azealia Banks' comments and their beef that I can't even explain to you the origin of, what if Azealia Banks upset Iggy Azalea that much that she ended up hurting herself? Would she really be proud of herself for that? And if so, would it be right of her to feel that way? I don't think so. Anyways, shout out to the beautiful Cyn Santana for sticking up for Iggy Azalea, because Azealia Banks is once again being over the top and unreasonable. But this is all my opinion. Let me know what you think about it all below. Be sure to subscribe to the Meat Magazine YouTube channels. Visit meatmagazine.blogspot.com. Follow me on Twitter @meatmagazine.